Yeah, so the systems work great. You know, we haven't had any problems with it to date. The way it works and the integration with the house and the grid and everything, you wouldn't know it's on. You just have no idea it's. You do get a bit kind of tied up with the apps and things, so you're kind of looking at, especially when you first start out, you're looking at, you know, how much money you've made or what's this or what's going on and that sort of thing. Yeah. But that settles down after 6 months.
Yeah. And then you just sort of leave it do its thing and see the results in the power bill, I guess. Yeah,
it kind of integrates with the power supplier as well. Mm-hmm. So, you know, you still have a way to sell power back to the grid or if you want to and that sort of thing. Yeah. So I think the hardware side of it and from Sigenergy is one part of the solution, and the second part is if you want to be part of the community, then you need a supplier. You know, you need an energy supplier, I guess, or grid supplier.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're finding that you're able to kind of get rewarded for supporting the grid in that scenario?
Yeah, you do. You know, we haven't paid a bill since we got it installed.
Oh wow!
So that's been good. And I don't try to utilise. I don't manipulate it. I just have it on a. I let them do all the work, if you know what I mean. So I'm not sitting there and trying to sell power at night or doing this or that sort of stuff. So it's just happening automatic in the background, which suits me because I'm not sort of interested in trying to get up at 3 in the morning to sell power or something of that sort of nature.
Yeah, no, exactly right. It's great to hear that the software and the algorithms and sometimes a little bit of AI can assist with that energy trading. Yeah. And just do it all in the background for you.
Yeah. So the installation of the battery and the Sigenergy system was kind of the first part of our I guess power being in control of your own destiny. So we got the battery, we've got the system on the roof, we've got a lot of power on the roof, so we actually generate a lot of excess power, which doesn't necessarily get sold because the power price can be quite low or sometimes negative. So that the system curtails that, so you don't get charged for putting power into the grid. Yep. But our long-term plan is to use the power, the excess power. So we're installing a swimming pool with a heater. The power bill for that should be quite negligible because we can run it off the excess power during the day. We did go for as large a battery as we could for the Sigenergy. The reason being is that, again, the solution for the future is to get an electric car, get the battery for the Sigenergy, and then be able to export the power either to the house from the car or to the grid if there's some reason for for selling power at a good price.
Yeah, excellent. So that's the V to X, vehicle to grid, vehicle to load. Yeah. That Sigenergy is really an innovator in that space, and at the moment is the only really product that you can do as a fully integrated solution. So that was a big part in your decision making with choosing Sig?
I think it was probably the number one reason. My brother's got a battery system. He's had it for quite a long time, and the battery now won't talk to the gate to the inverter. Oh, okay. And he's quite clever, so he's an electrical engineer, so he can make it work. Yeah. But for someone who's not as clever, it would become a financial, not disaster, but you'd have to throw some money at to make it work. Yeah. So the integration of the whole system was one of the big reasons why we decided to go that way with Sigenergy.
Yeah, excellent. No, they're very much leaders in that space, and it's future ready in the sense that you can have your solar producing the energy you need, the battery can store it, all the smarts in the app can help you maximize the savings with your energy retailer plan. But then the third part of that ecosystem, which is kind of the next step, is where the electric vehicles come into that. And it's all very well and good having fast EV charging, but being able to use your car battery to support your energy needs if there was a long outage, or even trade that and get rewarded for it. So it completes the ecosystem. Would that be fair to say?
It certainly for us, we had a plan. We had a plan. Probably wouldn't have installed the Sigenergy system last year if the government hadn't have come along with their rebate system. We probably would have waited a year or two until the car system was more, how would I say, that was more bulletproof from that perspective, because cars are still worrying, the car manufacturers are still wondering about warranties and this sort of stuff.
Exactly.
But that will come, we understand that, and our next car will be electric car. There's no two ways about it. But it was the battery rebate system that kind of made us start. But we made a solution that's long term, not short term.
Perfect, and that's exactly what we like to help our customers achieve, is look ahead at the next step, because the worst thing, which we've seen so often in our sort of 11 years in the solar industry, is a system for now that then isn't ready for the next step, and unfortunately it defeats the object, because you then have to rip it off and start again. So that's dead money. You've got to kind of start again and retrofit a solution, or it doesn't quite work as well. So we feel like the Sigenergy solution, as well as a well thought out design solution in terms of the consultation with the engineers at Adapt, we look at your energy profile now and what that might look in the future, to ensure that you don't have to rip things off and start again. You can just add a module, whether it's an extra battery module or that EV charging module, the DC EV charging module, which does the vehicle to grid. It's a much better way financially and environmentally, I guess you could say.
And I think also you're one of the things that I found interesting, because I'm not an electrician, but I like to kind of do a bit of homework and stuff. But when we were talking, was that the charging of the car doesn't go through your inverter. So you take power from your battery, you take power from your solar, but it's not affecting your inverters. Because I was concerned that the maximum charge we could get to our car was going to be controlled by the inverter, less what it was controlling in the house. Yeah. But no, so that kind of whole system. If we, for instance, had a 240 inverter on the wall, 240 charger on the wall, then the inverter would actually have to be working.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, so it's the DC bus in the Sigenergy system that's able to do that direct DC to DC. So the solar panels produce DC, you can go straight through into your car battery. You can bypass the inverter on your system as well as the car inverter, because sometimes with AC charging on your car, whether it be, let's say, a Tesla Model Y, currently 11 kilowatt onboard charger, so you're restricted by that if you're doing AC charging, whereas DC is going to bypass that, and it's going to charge as quickly as possible with the available solar and battery energy that's there. So it's a much more efficient solution. And again, Sigenergy, it's been out for 2 years and no other competitor is able to pull that system off, and they're not coming to market. So we feel like that is such a strong play with that product. A lot of people might not be thinking about EVs right now, but I think it's really going to come into play over the next 5 years. EV prices coming down, petrol prices going up.
Yeah, definitely. You look at some of the cars coming out of China and that sort of stuff. So you can get an EV now under 30 grand. Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's almost like an inevitable transition now. And if you're ready for that, taking advantage of the battery rebate, like you say now, setting yourself up, it's a great sort of long-term solution. So how did you find the experience with Adapt Energy? Did we?
Well, you guys are just down the road, so of course it was easy to call in and talk to people. But when you first start looking for an installer, and you tend to go on to get some recommendations. I mean, a lot of people come, or they ring you, cold call and that sort of thing. Yeah. So and then you get told a lot of stuff. Some people don't know what they're talking about. Mm-hmm. So you get told a lot of stuff and things, and I still think you need to go away and do your own homework. But once I'd kind of, once we had seen your sales rep guy in here and things, and he gave us some plans, we chopped and changed a bit. Mm-hmm. We didn't just settle on the system that you guys recommended or what you thought we were looking for. We chopped and changed a bit from our own things and come up with our own ideas. But But again, you guys told us the advantages and disadvantages of what we decided, and once we got it, once we said that we wanted to go with it, the installation was fantastic. It was really good.
Brilliant.
So now, as I said, the next stage for us is to look at the ways we can best utilise the system, and we hope to be able to do that with you guys for sure, because there's no reason not to.
Yeah, excellent. It's great to hear, Glenn. And in that consultation process, it's really good to hear that sort of, because we sort of start with the first draft, put that forward, get your feedback, and we want to work with you and your goals. We don't know exactly what is most important to you until we spend that time with you, understand what you need, and bounce a few ideas. Yeah. And then the idea is we end up with that sweet spot that's right for you. And that's the most important thing, is meeting your goals. And as you said, you didn't go for the full battery stack because you're very interested in that vehicle.
I didn't see the reason to spend a lot of money on a big battery system, because our major goal is not to sell power. Our major goal is to be self-sufficient. Yeah. And also when we get the electric car, we do have another battery coming with the car, and the future is that they will be used for storage and for buying and selling power. People, that's the way systems are going to be. Yeah. So what we just went with a battery that gave us a couple of days with zero grid reliance and zero solar on the roof, and I thought, and that kind of was a good balance for us. Yeah. Yeah,
excellent. So you've got the 24 kilowatt hour stack with Sig, which is a very popular size system. Obviously, there's space for then 2 other battery modules and the DC EV charger if you want to do that in the future. So you've got that flexibility. And no, it's great to hear that it's working well. Even with that mid-sized battery, you're still self-sufficient, and like you say, you haven't paid a power bill.
No, we haven't paid a power bill. We're still in positive territory. So yeah.
Yeah, wonderful. No, that's really great to hear, Glenn. So you'd have no problem recommending Adapt Energy?
Well, my son's made he bought one of your systems. The next door neighbour down the road, 2 of them have bought 2 of your systems, and that was under some of our recommendations. So not only would I recommend you in the future, but I have in the past. So.
Excellent. Thank you so much for that, Glenn, and that means the world to us. It's obviously a very noisy, kind of busy space, the solar industry, and
yeah, that's true.
Obviously, just I guess trying to do the right thing by our customers and provide that long-term support and solution. It's great to get those recommendations as a result. So thanks so much for your time, Glenn. We're here to help if you need anything more from us. But anything else you'd like to add?
No, just keep up the good work. Really, I hope your business goes well, because if your business is strong and going well, then the support you give us is great.
Yeah, wonderful. No, that's the goal, Glenn. We certainly intend to be in business. We've been in business for 11 years, and we intend to be in business for at least another 11 more and beyond. So that's certainly the goal. And these long-term solutions are what it's all about for us, and helping our customers achieve what we like to call energy freedom.
Yeah, well, that's it. It's self-sufficiency.
Yeah. Energy independence and sticking one to the grid, basically, because they're only going to want to make more money down the track, right? Yeah. So the only way you can avoid that is...
Well, that's true. Big companies, they've got to make money. That's they can talk a lot, but the reality is, if they're not making money, they go out of business.
Exactly.
So
right.
they have to put the price where that is they can make the most money.
And that's the other thing about the Sigenergy solution, is it's an off-grid ready solution. So we recommend setting yourself up for energy independence, but there's an opportunity at the moment to remain connected to the grid, because there's a value in exporting your battery at peak times, right? But if the cost of remaining connected to the grid at some point in the future gets too high...
Well, as they're talking about putting up the daily charge, right? Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly right.
Yeah, so it's kind of like supply charge reform we think is going to come into play, and they're going to charge you more and more to remain connected to the grid. So if you've got a system that is an off-grid and on-grid solution, you can add a few more battery stacks if you need to. Yeah. You can add a generator for that, third fallback plan, I guess, if there's a really bad weather for multiple weeks on end. and you can take this system off the grid. So if we need to in the future, we can take you off the grid, which is
I figured the switch.
Yeah, all over it, Glenn. Well, thanks again for your time, and we look forward to supporting you further down the track, and enjoy the system.
Yeah, thanks, Miles. It's been great.
Brilliant. Thanks, Glenn.